Nancy,
Here.
Howard.
Here.
Jason.
Yes.
Josh. David.
Oh, we gotta have us three, so we're good.
Okay.
All right, give me a moment to look at the minutes from March 24th, and I'll obtain a motion on those.
Motion to approve as is.
Motion is made, is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded, any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye, opposed? Okay, discussion items. Why don't we jump to Horner Park right away, that way John, and let it be stated, David is here.
David is here.
We just started.
Did you? All right.
Yeah.
You missed the approval of the minutes. So,
Okay. Yeah, you approve anyway, so. Let's go to the Horner Park design. Mike has some flyers out there for you guys to look at. And I'll,
This is from your artwork?
yep.
I got other ones here. John?
That's the same one I gave the council.
Same one, yeah.
Just refreshes.
Right, exactly. Just, you know, when we originally did it, we thought it'd be kind of cool to maybe have the covered bridge at some time to come or whatever, but, so it was just put on there, so,
Extra.
yeah. Okay, basically Horner Park, we, Mike and I and Adam sat down, we talked a bit on some stuff there. There has been some stone put in there, as you all have seen. And one of the things Mike had talked about is looking at removing the sidewalk that cuts through there. So it'd be a total green space. I kinda like that, it gives us a blank
The
slate. Is
angled
that-
one?
Yeah,
So there's an angled one on,
yeah.
It goes
Comes from,
from here up to
Yep,
here.
yeah.
the corner there.
Okay.
That's an old sidewalk that was there when I was a kid.
It runs to Jackson Street, right?
Yeah, it goes from Jackson, angles
Yeah.
down to just before the bridge.
Okay, yeah.
So, looking at pulling that out, which would then give us a total blank slate for really doing something in this park and making it look a lot nicer. Looking at getting the pathway cut and the excess asphalt removed, and then seeded. As we stated, this is something that's gonna take a little time to do. It's not gonna be one project done all in 1 week, just because of time, manpower, and that being on other projects
Is
that,
this a project for 21 or is this a 22?
It'll get done this
yeah.
year.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I actually have it slated for July,
okay.
so.
keeping our fingers crossed. Yeah,
Well, unless there's a storm that
Right.
knocks every tree in the city down.
yeah,
So, but, you know, you'll see we're making progress on some things that I'll talk later, but, so we'll go with the 6 foot wide then,
Mhm.
and we're good at that, right?
Yep, that's enough for 2 bikes to pass each other, or people walking with masks during
Okay.
COVID.
Okay,
And then will those be marked parking spots there, or?
Yeah.
those-
Yeah.
Well, they'll be painted and then look at putting,
Some bollards there?
no, not a bollard, we've got rock there, and then we'll put like the yellow stops there.
Parking
for
spots?
the
Okay.
tires to hit, so people can't go through that. So there'll be one on each side like it shows there, and then the center will be for the bike ped traffic to go through there.
okay. Stones. Go ahead, John.
Well, the reason, I'm John.
I didn't mean it. No,
And,
that came out wrong, sorry.
I'm here, because this started on city council with Howard because of the park. Also, we've had many conversations on boulders and stones and
Bollards.
bollards, and it's partly my fault, but the intention of me, or what I was thinking a boulder was more of they're called security boulders, or ledge rock, which is more of a rectangular boulder that they use in landscaping, and I can show you, you could pass that around if you don't mind touching my phone. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That design
Yeah.
with plants in between is also exactly what I can
Yeah.
envision seeing after the grass is
Coming up.
coming up, yeah.
Yeah, I was
And
thinking
it-
some little fire bushes or something in between what's there.
It took me by surprise that, and I know definition wise, they are boulders, you
Right.
know. So that was my concern on that. It was just my vision or envisionment of what
I
I
don't-
thought the boulder should look
And I
like.
apologize, I don't think we defined that
And I
Right, we
take the
didn't.
blame
enough
also. We
to, for
never,
me.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm willing to change that if that's what we wanna do.
They, you know, they,
Did you
anything
get any
linear,
pricing?
linear lines are more appealing to people than
Mhm.
jagged things.
Did you get any pricing at all, John, or did you know where to get them from?
They have them at the quarry,
R&R?
yeah,
Okay.
R&R wash.
Did you have a particular size?
No, but I'd be willing to go there with you someday,
Yeah.
and we can
Why don't we
walk
do
the
that?
quarry, or,
Get a-
you know.
Get a pricing on them and that, cause
You
I
know,
just wanna make sure they're big enough that,
Yeah.
if somebody hits them, it slows them down.
right, yeah, they wanna, yeah, exactly.
And things like that, so,
And it took me by surprise that they were there before the blacktop got taken out.
well,
I
we were
just-
taking out the big cement barricades.
Yes.
So we wanted something in there,
And, yes,
so people weren't driving through there, that was the
Exactly.
big thing.
let's try and
Because the
get
biggest
it.
complaint I got from people was it looked ugly with those barricades, and it did.
and it did,
So,
and we
and
talked
Now
about
it's,
that
looks a
too.
little less.
It did, you know,
But it's less,
it looked
yeah.
eye appealing, you know.
It
in that
depends,
aspect.
everybody likes certain things, so
Exactly.
I don't really care.
And I'm not saying just because that was my vision,
Yeah.
that it has to be, but
It's
I
up
just,
to you guys.
it's up to, yeah,
I guess it comes down to pricing, because these were paid for through Friends of the Park fund that we have through this committee, so.
yeah. and
Do
you
we
can
know
see
what it amounted to?
Yeah, it was around $160, somewhere's
Yeah,
around
lucky.
there. They were about $15 or so.
Yeah, got a good
Piece.
price on them.
I'm
Oh,
sure that
okay.
the
Yeah,
more
yeah,
linear
yeah.
ones are gonna be more expensive.
They will be, yeah.
Yeah,
But, you know, we have one chance to
to do this.
make the park
Yeah.
look
Mhm.
Well,
really
yeah.
nice.
Is there somewhere else we change those, is there somewhere else?
We
in
would
the city
keep
we could
them
use
and, I'm sure that they would come in handy at some time.
Okay,
Mhm.
but I just hate to see things wasted,
Yeah,
you know.
well,
I would even be willing to ask R&R Wash if they're willing to
Make a
donate
donation. I
some
was
of
gonna
it.
say, I
part of
would,
it.
I would go up and talk to Shirley and see,
They
with
might,
the trail, Lori's Trail and that stuff, R&R Watch is our contractor, so I've dealt with Shirley and them up there quite a bit, so.
Okay.
did the rest of you see it at all?
I did,
Yeah.
Okay, do we think that's the right quantity and the right, roughly in the right place?
I think it
I-
is.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with the quantity or the placement of it all, so, yeah.
I
Okay,
mean, Condon is still able to get through there, we were good neighbors and left them enough room so that they could go through there. So that aspect was not a problem, so.
Yeah, I agree though, if you're gonna do it, you know,
yeah, let's,
They're gonna be there long
we
term,
have to raise a
so.
little more money, we have time
To do
to
something.
do something, because
Right.
Mike had said that July, depending on work schedule.
well, that gives us an opportunity to, you know, get stuff in place and stuff, and this will suffice for now.
Yes,
Good,
yeah.
And there might be some landscaping opportunities that somebody may wanna volunteer or do, or put some plants in there, or put some, you know, greenery
Yeah,
in
like
there.
I say,
When would our next meeting be?
oh, good question.
What is it?
It's supposed to be next month.
May?
This month wasn't scheduled, but, because of some of the
26th.
stuff we are, yeah.
May.
summertime, you guys meet every month.
In May again,
Yeah, still.
Yeah,
or June?
no, we'll meet in May and then go back to our,
Okay.
that'll put us on our original,
Well, John and I work together on getting,
some pricing.
the sizing and pricing, and
Okay.
then we'll come back and then we can.
And that gives us time before
Move
you
it
guys start
forward from
anything.
there, okay? So,
Yeah.
I don't know what your, just email me what your hours are.
Okay,
um,
sure,
And we can sneak up there or
okay.
whenever,
I
okay?
walk past it every night, so,
Oh, do you?
yeah, I walk the block.
Is it open at that point?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
it usually is,
yeah, just let me know,
Okay,
okay?
sounds good.
And if we can get donations,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does, it
I'd be
helps.
glad to talk to Shirley, once you guys
okay,
figure out
I
what you.
see
what you
Roger
need
every
and
so often
yeah.
too, walking around there,
Yep.
so. Yeah, I
Yeah, he
appreciate
he
it.
usually says talk to Shirley. When I got him to donate for, the JV baseball field and that, it was, yeah, no problem, talk to Shirley.
I'd like this, we good on that one now?
Mhm.
I'd like to circle back to that, sidewalk that cuts
Yeah.
across there and make sure that, is that something that we want to do? Is that something you guys want me to do, I should say?
I think so, just because it gives us a clear slate there then. It's directing traffic to walk down to the, what'll be newly created pathway through there.
I'm all for removing any kind of hardscape that's in a park, right, you know, so we want more green in there than anything, so I think that would be,
And that really doesn't come out on that sidewalk up there on Jackson Street,
right.
doesn't it come out? on
Comes
that-
on Aiken.
On Aiken, so with what's gonna be happening there and that, we're best to get rid of that.
I think it does, in my opinion, give us and Adam said it, a blank canvas for the future.
Yep.
If there's something gonna be put in there.
Right. So, yeah,
If I may. It is a park, if they wanna walk through the grass and cut through there, they can.
Yeah, we
But I'm
don't
with Jason on,
maintain
let's get rid
sidewalks
of the
in the winter.
hardscape if you can.
Yep.
Through the
And-
park.
Yeah, I know it's extra work for the city to tear it out, but,
We
It's
don't wanna
just-
have to ever replace it either.
right.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right,
Yeah.
You
yeah,
mow
that's a good way
alongside
of
it
looking
and
at
stuff,
it.
I mean, it makes,
Yeah.
your mow, you know, it's
It'll just
less
make
maintenance in the
things easier.
summer.
Mhm.
So if you guys do,
Yep.
Nobody will trip
do you
on
need to
it.
vote on
I was
that?
gonna say,
I think that,
I'll entertain a
Anything else we
motion.
wanna do? Cause we need to, just
Yeah.
from Mike and our
First.
perspective, we need to get this firm, and I don't know.
Take it back to council.
Take it back to council to say,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing with your guys' approval here,
Yeah.
because we've been kinda going back and forth a
Yeah.
lot.
So, I'll obtain a motion to make the changes that we had talked about, looking at the replacing of the stone that's there, narrowing the pathway as originally proposed, and removing the sidewalk.
I'll make a motion.
Parking? You wanna add
The parking is on there,
Okay.
that was an original.
I'll second.
Okay, David made the motion, it was seconded. Any other discussion? Oh, seconded by Melanie, did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? All those in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and seeing we're still with Horner Park, it's across the road. I see they got things framed up and cemented for the adult swing by the
Yeah, I'll
dam.
bring that all up at the,
Project updates and staff
project
reports.
updates. I did wanna comment a little bit more on the Horner Park here. That we've seen the wall, start to fall apart more so.
Yep.
We've seen, and I think John might know, and I don't remember, but there's a hole underneath the bridge portion, and you thought it was getting bigger.
I didn't look at it real close from the distance, it
It
looked
looked
like
pretty
it was
good
twice
size.
as much
Yeah.
as last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
so
just a
it
guess.
is, these things are starting to degrade.
right.
Okay, so I just wanna put that out there that, at some point, there's gonna have to be
Yeah,
something
we redid the wall on
here,
on that side there, and that turned out really well, I thought, with
Yeah.
that, step wall.
and so eventually
Eventually that's
we're
going to
gonna
have to
have
be-
to do something,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm just getting it out
Yeah.
there,
Yep, well, we know that's something that's coming down the road,
yeah, okay?
and if we do anything like it, we're best to match what's
Right.
the most recent that we did, if we can, to kinda keep that all uniform through there. And also.
Whatever we
depending on cost.
decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's.
That's all I wanted to, just as long as we were on Horner Park.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Then we'll,
Thank you guys,
Yep.
thanks a lot.
yep, have a good one, John.
See ya, John.
Let's back up to A, to baseball field maintenance. Mike, you wanna take that? Or do you want me to?
No, go ahead and start.
Okay, we turn around and have been contacted by Becky Barrett, who's the head of the Ripon Youth Baseball Softball Program, with some concerns over things that are up at, conditions up at the park and that on the fields. And Adam has reached out to her regarding a working agreement, I guess, would be a good way.
Just like a maintenance or
Yeah.
agreement, just sort of a,
For a meeting of the minds, so that everybody's on the same page of what we, the city, will do to maintain the fields for a normal play facility. If the rec leagues want anything above and beyond that, that would be for their consideration. Because it's not like years ago when the city ran the leagues and we took care of everything. These programs now run themselves for years, do their own tournaments and that stuff, so we will be taking care of the mowing weekly, the spraying of the dirt portions of the fields for weeds, and the fence lines for weeds, and then any other basic structural needs. And one of those Mike has addressed already is the cement around the concession stand.
Yep.
That's going to be replaced.
I'll talk about that too. Thank you.
So those are the basics of what we are offering. Mike, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'll add some more things in reference to the parks on the, again, on the project updates. That'll pertain to some of that too.
Okay.
Okay? But I think what we've seen here, and I was down there several times today, is with COVID last year, the fields just didn't get
Used.
turned up, used. Obviously, we didn't do it. We did spray, but it only lasts so long. So with the non-use, things like that, the grass has started to creep in, even on the new ones that we
Yep.
redid. So I think that's really what that stems from. And we just need to get back into some normalcy here.
That will make a big difference. Along with the ball field maintenance, Diamond 6, which is where the diamond with the lights and that. I was approached by a private individual, because that does not take water well in the spring. It's very soft and, because everything rolls down the hill. Wanted to see what it would be to have that fixed. And I called a company that used to be H&K, who's done our fields. They were bought out by another company. They came, did some soil samples and that stuff. And they are gonna be getting back to me this week with what the cost would be to fix it. At that point in time, I get a price, I'll go back to the individual. And if they're willing to front that, then I will bring it back to this committee for approval or denial to take care of that situation. And basically, when they put that in years ago, they really put a lot of sand into it, and I think that's part of the problem. And not enough clay in there, so we'll wait for the soil sample testings to come back and that stuff. And see what they bring from there. So if that would be something that, another improvement to one of the fields there. So, anything else on ball diamonds? Mike?
No, I don't think so.
that covers the ball diamonds pretty much.
well, I'll just, can I?
Yeah, you
Yep.
jump in anytime.
So there are a couple emails that went back and forth with Mike, myself, and Becky regarding the maintenance of the fields.
Mhm.
Who's responsible really for what aspect of all of this stuff? And I had just requested that maybe it'd be appropriate to sit down and have a meeting with the group and come to some sort of formal agreement. Something probably more written down that, you know, commits the city to saying, we will do, you know, some of the things that Howard said, and anything else is kind of, we can work together on, or it's your responsibility. And I think that there's been some gray area over time of who's doing what, and I think if we can come together and kind of just get on the same page, it would be good moving forward, so we don't have just, you guys do this, well, you know, it just, it kind of gets,
Or he didn't say, she didn't say,
Yeah.
and part of that comes from when you have the boards of those two programs turning over and over. If that communication isn't passed on from an outgoing president to an incoming president or whatever, you know, you lose that information, then all of a sudden it's, well, it's the city's responsible for this, or, you know, are we responsible for this? This way, in writing, everybody.
Yeah, I think you just create a memorandum of understanding, MOU, that to have it in place, that they can keep in their files so they know as we move forward. And I don't know if you need to have a signed agreement, but maybe that's something we look at, but at least a understanding agreement. You know?
I think a sit-down would be good, like you
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
just to, you know, and I didn't see those emails, or, you know, wasn't included on them, but I kind of understand, I think, what the, you know.
Disconnect might be,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, I agree, going back and forth, and we had a meeting here prior, and I think everybody wants to get on the same page and work towards one common goal. It's just a better understanding of who's doing what.
Right, exactly.
I think if they wanna bring, you know, others in to take care of the fields, or there's some work that wants to be, you know, needs to be done, I think that from what they've said, they're willing to fundraise and,
Right.
you know, do some of that stuff, but it's, maybe you don't necessarily know what they can do.
And this will give them an idea.
Well, yeah, exactly, what do they have to
They've
come to
listed some things that
us for approval?
they think should be done to the
Yep.
fields and that stuff, and so it'll just be a matter of, you know, coming to an understanding between all parties, and
Sure.
It removes the assumption, right?
Yep.
So, so that's what it does, it
Yep.
makes sure that's understood that this is how it's gonna happen, so.
yep, exactly.
Mike won't have to say no so much.
It's hard to say
It's-
no.
it's-
I'm sorry.
Not
It
that, not
really
that you
is.
wanna say no,
I
it's
don't
just
wanna say
sometimes
no.
you don't have a choice,
Right.
so. Okay, anything else on the baseball field maintenance? We'll keep everybody up to date on how that's progressing, and
So are we talking a sit-down at like one of our future meetings, or just a separate?
I think Mike and I will
Yeah.
go out and meet, and just, I think
Mhm.
meeting there and kind of just being on the site.
doing a walkthrough and all
Yeah.
that, and everybody will be,
I'm fine with it.
Some of the stuff
Yeah.
we, you know, just bringing back sort of an agreement of some sort, an MOU that, you know, makes sense for everybody. I think that, you know,
is the way to go. Okay, let's move on to C, the Elizabeth Murray Park Trail Extension and Trailhead Stewardship Grant. Adam, did you want that, or?
so, I can. So, we will be applying for a stewardship grant to put, the trail extension and tie on a trailhead to the senior center project. That is a very important grant, that is, about $240,000. It's due on,
Me first.
Friday.
Okay.
These dates
Um,
creep up on you really quick.
So you'll see on the agenda, there's an adopt a park program. And I have here a copy of something that Dave and I kind of worked on. I got one. And this is merely an attempt to get points for the grant. Okay? So before I just sign it and say approve it or whatever, or Mike does, we wanted to bring it to you and have it approved, just to kind of get that in the record. But it's essentially an agreement to adopt the park and adopt the trail, specifically this project, the Elizabeth Murray Park Trailhead and Mascoutin expansion or extension that we are planning. This all stems from having a public-private partnership. And when talking with the DNR, literally like 3-4 days ago, it's like, we need to score more points. It'd be dumb for us to just reapply with this large grant and try to get the same amount of points. Public-private partnership is defined as having a private entity that somehow contributes to the project.
And in this case, it'd be 4 to 5
And this
bank.
bay, because honestly, I needed somebody to say yes. And quickly, and it really is just an agreement that states they will, if this project goes through, they will help with annual maintenance of the trail, planting flowers, trees, assembling and cleaning park fixtures, picnic tables, trash receptacles, and painting facilities as needed. It's like a 3-year term. It's sort of a pilot program as well, is kind of what we're launching it as. And I specifically write a public-private partnership agreement to just put that in there for the DNR to see, to get the points. And if we don't get the grant, and we don't do the project, then obviously Fortify Bank and the city are not obligated to do anything. It is pretty simple. But yes, this is what we've drafted, and I thank Dave and his group at Fortify for considering doing this. Obviously, we can talk about the next Adopt a Park to give more people opportunities to do this, but in this specific circumstance, this was just, we need something, so.
I have a question on this. The Mascouten Valley State Trail
Yep.
technically ends at Eureka Street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, have you talked with the county?
Yes.
Because of that extension, is that
Yeah, we have an
extension?
agreement
Oh, yeah,
now.
yeah.
That extension is going to be called Mascouten
Yeah,
Valley?
so,
That's
yeah.
what I was wondering, because, if not, the city, we have the Northwestern Trail here.
Mhm.
And if that hadn't gone through, I thought then we would have a Northwestern spur that went there, so long as
Yeah.
the county is good with carrying on the Mascouten till it connects in.
So Adam worked on this piece,
Yes.
and then he helped me on the other, or gave me the other piece, and I reached out to the county
Yep.
to get an agreement with them. That will get, if we get an agreement with them, that will give us another point, right?
Yes.
So they're gonna put, markings on the road
Mhm.
for a crossing and some signage. So they have signed that, Terry, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
And that'll go into this packet also.
Perfect,
Okay.
that's what I wanted, a
Yep,
little
so we signed
clarity
an
on that.
intergovernmental agreement with
Mhm.
the county to get that
So
point.
that'll
Yeah.
bump us
So
up.
there are 2
That's
points that would
what I
have,
wanted.
if we we would have done it last year, we would have got funded.
Mhm.
So,
Did you say it was like a 1/10 of a point
it
short?
was close.
Yeah, it
It
was
was close.
just under 2 points.
Yeah.
That we missed out
Yeah.
last year.
So, these are sort of in an attempt to rush to get the grant because it's due quick but we're trying our best, so it's, yeah.
It'll be a good
Yeah.
We
step.
need to make a motion to approve this.
Yeah, that we would do.
I'll make that motion to approve the agreement.
Motion's been made by Jason, is there a second to approve the Adopt a Park,
I'll
Adopt a Trail agreement?
I'll second.
David will second that. Any other discussion on this? Like I said, getting more points is a big thing, and 2 points is huge. Trust me, when we're this, as close as we were last year, 2 points is gonna be huge.
Mhm.
So, if there's no other discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed? That'll carry. And I wanna thank Fortify Bank and Dave for stepping up to do that.
You bet.
Okay, the Adopt a Park,
No, and just to take, sorry, the other part of that project is we are starting a design phase. The council did approve a contract with MSA to start a surveying and schematic design
Yeah.
on Monday or Tuesday?
Monday. I didn't know.
And so basically what that is going to do is kind of reset the whole project and say, this is, give community input, kind
Yeah.
of get an idea where things are gonna go, how things are gonna look, so.
Before it was just getting something so that we had something to make the initial grant
Yeah.
request last year. And that was a kind of a rush last minute thing too, to meet that deadline, so now that we know we have a good shot at this, we can
What's the
start.
value of the grant?
$240,000.
And then still money from the
We have
Mitchell.
the Mitchell Fund, and then there's the,
CDBG closed, so that would put us at 1.25 million.
right,
Okay.
so. It sounds like a lot, but
It's not gonna go far.
It's
No,
not a lot.
I'm just happy to hear that there's 1.25
Yeah.
million bill
Yeah.
for a project.
Well, the big thing is being able to utilize the Mitchell grant,
Right.
you know, is the big thing there. So, the family can be happy that it is moving forward with something that's not just sitting in a bank account. So that'll make a difference there.
Agreed.
Anything else then?
Not on that, unless
Okay.
anybody else.
All right, the Adopt a Park program, that's pretty much went through.
Yeah, well, we did, so sorry,
Yeah.
there is a
There's a little
draft
bit
there,
more, yeah.
there's a more there, there is a program that if you wanna explore, I did put together, after last time's meeting,
Yeah.
I talked to Mike. You know, this was a pilot agreement, formal, this would be more of an open program. So it's
How it
up,
works, and
Yeah.
the city agrees, responsibilities of
I did have a
volunteers.
question on it as I read through the agreement. Would it allow for that particular adopting partner to place some kind of signage there to recognize that they're able to do that? Or that they, to recognize, it'd be a temporary sign, obviously, you know.
yeah, no, we wouldn't mind working
Okay.
with,
Yeah.
to recognize them, I think that's
Because I
one of
think,
the,
you know, you
you
guys
know,
would wanna
yeah.
put your name up there. if
Well,
you-
and
I
that's
was
it.
already asked that.
Yeah,
question,
we-
so that was coming.
Yeah, we do have,
That was coming.
a proposed, situation out there for if somebody wants to erect something, like this pavilion is gonna have to have the Mitchell name on
Right,
it
right.
because of the donation and that. There has to be money set aside for future maintenance and that stuff. So we have that set for all the parks. If somebody wants, they have to come to this committee, make the proposal, and then it goes from here to the council, all that stuff. Like, there are guidelines
Yeah.
for those type of things, and signage is,
Nothing would make me
Is what
happier
it
to
is.
see each park have adopt a park,
Mhm.
partner with it, that would be awesome.
and that's the program that was sent out with PAC was a draft, and it does have posting recognition on city's website, we can go more than that. This was put together in response to Mike's list of stuff to do.
No, and that's stuff we can address as we move forward on it too, yeah.
and,
So-
and that's the thing is, and it shouldn't be, this should be one of the last things that's ever done is, but when budgets get tight, parks get hit the hardest, you know, and,
Yeah, but if you've got groups that are interested in
Yeah.
doing it. I
so
mean,
this is a way for them to turn
You
around
don't
and
ever say no.
we can keep that, you know, up to where it should be, so that's a,
It's kinda like adopt a road,
Yeah.
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 same thing.
Except you don't have to pick up garbage, you can help
Well, you
maintain
can do that
something,
too,
yeah.
I'm sure.
But if you like that draft program, we can formalize it and kind of slowly roll it out. If that's something you want to do separate of the other agreement. Other communities do it all over, but it also kicks it in the corner of the business to also kind of say, well, we are passionate about this specific park or this specific project, and we will adopt it, we will clean it, we will fix it up, we'll paint it, and work with Mike to kind of set those guidelines, as well as if somebody comes to us and says, I want to adopt a park and put in something, we can, you know, work with them to put in a piece of equipment moving forward. So it just kind of puts the, you know,
It gives an avenue for people to contribute to Mike's wish list, or to-do list.
It's not
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't there, to be honest.
It's a wish, yeah, I was gonna say.
But it's there and we need to do
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
the quicker we can get this out to the public and other organizations, the better for us, you know?
Absolutely.
No, I like,
So,
And I think there's probably a lot of businesses that would step up and jump
I
in right
do
away,
think
but
I
they just
do.
haven't known really, I guess,
right.
how to get involved, so.
Has everybody had a chance to read through it?
mhm.
So everybody's full, okay.
you can rip it to shreds. Yes.
Because it's gonna change, no. I would like to turn around and then see if someone wants to make a motion that we look at the Adopt a Park program and pass this on to council for approval.
So council does have to approve on this.
I think it'd be good. to
Because
just-
there's gonna be monetary things that,
Sure,
you know,
sure.
might be involved, it's always good to go through council
Yep.
on those things and kinda takes it off of this committee in that aspect.
No, I get it.
So if somebody, I'll make a motion to approve the Adopt a Park program. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Melanie will second that. Any,
Is it Nancy?
or Nancy, excuse me,
Nancy,
yeah,
yeah, sorry.
yeah, one of those days. Any other discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Park equipment inventory, that was something Mike was working on.
Yep, so Adam asked if we had an inventory,
Don't
of
blame
park
me.
equipment.
Blame Jason.
Sorry, I was just curious.
So I guess it's Jason's fault that I had to do some more
That's
work.
all right.
But no, it's all good, we should have
The
this.
fact that you have pictures with these is a fantastic for me.
Yeah.
So
You
this makes,
Yeah.
So, you know, I went through, I think I captured everything that, from, from most of the seats, just to have that information out there. Adam added a couple things in there, as he looked it over, so, estimated pricing on, replacement costs. I don't know if this does any good for our insurance company,
It does.
I would say.
from that standpoint
Yeah.
also, so, but this is what we have currently, out there.
If we need money in the budget, we could pull that park climber for $4,000 and sell it off.
How about the 70
Yeah, right.
by Barlow? Oh my
that's
God.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's not even, that's guess, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can
Oh,
spend
$90.
$150,000 on a park play
Yeah.
structure.
Well, the play structure that we put up at Barlow South,
Did you want one?
that one came in at almost $20,000. And there isn't a lot up there,
I was gonna say, that's a pretty small one.
Yeah. so,
Well, I think when they were looking at the possibility of the one they were gonna do in Zobel and Green Lake there, that was close to $500,000
Mhm.
on that. By the time everything was all figured out, so.
the days of the old wooden structure that the
Yeah.
service club goes out and puts up are
Yeah.
long gone, yeah. But this, and with the latest additions up to Eagle Park,
Correct.
really makes a nice difference there.
Yep, the crew did a good job on that.
And I know I'm getting really deep diving on this. And what's the average life of some of these? Like how old are they? Are they a decade old? Are they 5 years old? You don't know either. I'm sure records maybe not be kept on that, okay. So,
Most of it's pretty good.
okay,
It looks like it's been probably within the last 10, 15 years, a lot of it. You know, every 20, 25 years, you probably are, you can cobble things together for a while. The biggest thing, and it goes back to your original point, Jason, last month, was the access of it, or accessibility of these. We do not have much ADA accessible. Mike said they all were, and anything on wood chips, anything
Right.
is not, anything with stairs instead of ramps
It's not
is
easy.
not. And so the only thing really out there are maybe the baby swings and the xylophone thing or whatever it is.
I thought if it was flat, even though it was
Oh, you
wood
got-
chips, it was okay.
Yeah, you gotta be
So
able
I'm
to.
bad.
No, it's, if you go online, you can see inclusive play park features.
Where they're, you know,
Very
they're
free.
a
Yeah.
harder rubberized,
Yeah, it's
that's
like a
got that
squishy-
spongy, right, that's
Okay.
ADA in that.
fun court.
It's getting a path or a ramp up to the play structure, and that's what also makes it ADA accessible and that. That's why, about 10 years ago, we ended up putting the two long paved stretches in up in Murray Park at the quads. So that made it more ADA accessible to the bleachers for people, so. Because otherwise it was just grass. And, so those are the type of things that, you know,
Super helpful though, Mike.
we
This
need
is
to
great.
look at.
So I appreciate it.
you know, maybe try to find, you know, once a year budget-wise for asphalt or something to start getting some pathways to some of that equipment in each park so that we do start to fit that requirement a little bit more for the ADA accessibility.
And I've had a few members of the community ask me about it as well too, and I'd like to see a few more, you know, pieces in there, so that's kind of originally why I brought it up.
Mhm.
so.
But it was a good thing, because it really gives everybody, I mean, we drive through the parks and we see the equipment in there, but, you know, it's more of on a flash unless we're out walking around or doing or something like that, so.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll keep this on our next agenda, just, you know, I'd like you guys to get out to the parks and kind of walk around the main play structures and that, and, you know, come back with some opinions on which ones you think we need to start looking at, and get in a list of those, so we can move forward on this. So anything else with that from anyone? Okay. Disc golf course discussion. David sent an email on that, and I had been in talk also with Joan Karsten, and actually, her and I have been discussing this, and I did get her some pricing on some things for replacement up there, and she was surprised at how cheap it was. The big thing is gonna be, you know, labor going in there and putting down the mats and that stuff, but she wanted it broken down into 3 sections so that they could devise how they were gonna do it. I had taken last fall, did a walkthrough on the courts and that, and the biggest thing is the tee boxes. You know, they're ruts now because they're being used so much, and I spoke with Mike and that, and
We talked about that last year.
yeah, I got pricing on rubber tee box mats for those, and we would need 15 of those because we've got 3 holes that use the same tee box, so it cuts down on those. That's the first one to propose was for $1,125 for those mats
For
and
the 15?
for the 15 mats and anchors. And that, Mike said, will make it easy for them for mowing right up, you know, to them. They're gonna be able to do that real easy. They will put gravel in underneath where it's rutted out and that, or dirt, and go from there. The second split for her was 15 tee box signs. The signs that are on each hole have been well worn. You know, some of the decals have come off. People have hit them with stuff and that. So to replace those, cost on those were $450 for 15 of those.
Should I add this stuff to this wish list here?
No, because the way it sounds, they are interested because they're the ones that did the original, raised the original money for putting in the golf course,
That's me.
disc golf course and that, so.
I'm way over there.
And the final thing broken down was there's only 9 baskets up there because we went with 2 different tee boxes per hole.
Oh,
So that made it an 18-hole course. So,
we need to update our
Listing,
listing.
you thought there was 18 of
I
them?
put 18 of
yeah,
them.
there's only 9 baskets,
I didn't count them.
but your price on the basket is a little light. I saw that.
Okay,
Those
I
are-
just pulled it off the
yeah.
internet.
Yeah, those are the industrial baskets that are up there.
Oh, what should that be then?
They're closer to $250 a basket.
Okay.
So it's the same amount.
It washes out, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same.
Pretty much the same amount, so.
Hey, you done good.
The ones we have there are stainless steel, so you're in good shape
It's
there.
close enough.
But anyway,
250 a piece, you said?
for the baskets,
Okay.
if, they're all in good shape, so we're not gonna have to worry about any of
So
them.
was it less than $2,000 for the entire project?
$1,800 is what it comes out to. The 9 baskets, what would be is hole markers, because there's nothing on each basket except a little sticker that you can't see that says what hole it is. These would be pieces that would sit on the top of the basket that would state, you know, like basket 9 and 18, you know, in 2 different colors and that, so people would know. Because the course is marked out as a red course and a blue course.
Okay.
So what are they to put those on the baskets?
The cost on that total is $225
Oh, okay,
for the 9 baskets.
gotcha.
And the pricing for those and the signs were done locally to keep everything here, so. Joan's got this and she's gonna present it to her club, and then they get back to us, you know, if they wanna do the whole thing, do a partial thing, whatever they wish to do at this point in time.
Cool.
And now's a good time to do that. So any other questions on that? The course gets used a lot,
Yep.
you know. And I think that's because it's,
And that's Kiwanis?
yeah.
Is that Kiwanis?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
The early, the noon Kiwanis.
In Kiwanis, okay.
Or, excuse me,
Early bird.
Early birds,
Kiwanis,
okay.
early bird Kiwanis.
So like I say, that's really the only course we have in town, so it does, is used a lot, by the locals, by the college students, use it a lot.
Right.
Well, I know she's gonna probably wanna move forward with that
Right away,
soon, cause I
yeah.
know,
I spoke with her this morning, and then
oh,
I saw your
okay.
email this afternoon, so,
Oh,
Um,
okay, yeah. Yeah, I had talked to her last week.
Yeah.
She said she just wanted an update where things at.
yeah.
and-
I was waiting on the pricing on the signs to
Okay,
come back, and
gotcha,
I got a call on that this morning, and
perfect,
an apology, because I got lost in their to-do list.
sure,
So, so yeah, I know they're gonna wanna get moving on this, and, you know, this is something that, to put all this stuff in, we could find volunteers to do,
okay,
because it's, you know, no major equipment's needed or any of that type of
well, and
stuff.
some of their crew might even, you know, that
Exactly.
would be, you know,
Yeah.
there was a lot of members there.
They're one of the younger crews out there, you know, for some of the other service organizations. So yeah, this is something that, you know, if they approve, we can move quickly and
All right,
keep it done, because, like I say, there's people up there using it all the time. All right, Mike, projects, updates, and staff reports.
So I did update this a little bit.
You're walking out of here with all kinds of paperwork.
Reading material.
Do you want more, Mike, you know?
Yeah, I do, I forgot, we handed it. And the first discussion is from an overall sheet standpoint, is we should take things off of here that are over $5,000 and put them onto the capital plan, okay? This is more of, internal, you know, funding here, so I'll do that, so like Trailhead facility, that shouldn't even be on here for $2 million, things like that, and I'll transfer those over to, our parks capital, okay? Couple things, actually quite a bit of stuff going on here. A couple of parks will get their chips updated. All right, so because of costing, we're gonna have to do some this year, some next year, and kind of leapfrog that, for that.
Same company you've used
It
in the past,
is,
somebody to do
yeah,
that?
their prices, have really,
Been good.
gone up.
I think they've been, you know, I mean, compared to other places I've talked to,
Yeah, they're pretty good. So that's gonna happen. The quad unit today, the main water valve, was an issue, so that's fixed, so, the water in that area, in those fields, Murray Park specifically, is completely shut down until water can turn it on tomorrow, okay? So as I go through the list here, I highlighted some things. Horner Park update, you know, we talked about that, and I do have that scheduled for in July. If there's time in between there, obviously, we're gonna work on that. Murray Park Quad, cement, so, there's some slips, trips, and falls on the cement there. It's been there for a while. So
that's an apron that goes around.
we had our cement crew in, Fisher, and I got them over there and we removed it all. And they will be pouring it, probably tomorrow. The slope on it didn't meet the requirements for ADA. So it will be the correct slope. And then we're gonna have to go in and do a lot of restoration for that, so it is kind of a mess now with big equipment getting in there and things like that, but we'll get that back. The future of that would be then somehow, my vision would be to get some type of walking working surface or whatever, up to
The concession.
the concession stand, okay? So it's kind of bits and pieces here because of money, so. I think that's probably gonna be around $3,500, something that I'll probably bring back here at some point. Murray Park, the dugouts, the roofing update at the bottom, I did just some rough calculations. Obviously, 2x4s now have
Gone through the roof.
skyrocketed. We could put metal roofs on those, relatively easy. Then we wouldn't have to put the tarps on every year, something to consider, for that. The Barlow South exterior, interior painting, I do wanna just quick touch base with you afterwards. I got a list of materials that I was thinking of, so, for that. The bubblers, the plumber's been contacted and he's gonna be working on the ones that are in need of fixing for that. We are adding the swing set to the other side of the dam.
The adult swing.
Just the double swing set, and that is there today. I expect them to pour the concrete here this weekend, okay? So that'll have to be landscaped again and smoothed out. So it actually works out good because I had to shore up some of the landscaping on the berm for the dam to meet requirements that are needed for that. So this is gonna work out good. We do the spraying of the Roundup on the fields and the warning tracks. We try to do that in the spring. Right now, that probably won't happen until we get our summer help, and then in the fall, okay? The water heaters that are in the pavilions, I didn't highlight that, that just came up tonight. So the water heaters don't work in the pavilions, period. I talked to the plumber and I asked him to go through, that's gonna be about $500 to fix some of those. We believe it's just the element, they're electric, there is one that needs to be completely replaced, but we're gonna take a small bite of this and get some of this stuff done, okay? That's kind of that is what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, to try to get us where we need to be.
And the more we can encourage people to round up on their water bill, the more these things start to trickle down a little bit more, so.
The pennies add up, that's for sure.
Is that something we can send out again? We probably haven't done that in a while, in a utility bill.
Last year we did that, we had to wait because there was some other city stuff that was going through it.
Should I post something on our Facebook page?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
And then, are you connected with us? You can always share that?
Yep. We've got a tab on our regular website as well for park stuff, so.
But that might be something that we can look at, trying to get on the list for going out with the water bills, just a half-sheet flyer like we've done in the past.
Well, I almost think we should make that every year, we should just do that, just for the sake of the group.
You guys got anything for me?
Adam, you have anything? I think we're pretty
I've
good.
spoken up.
Okay. All right, give me a second to look over the current status of the budget. I mean, that's starting to see a little movement on that now.
We're getting reservations in. You can look at the calendar on the website to see about what's out there. We got just over $2,500 on reservations. There's some calls also that came in to add reservations. I have not been able to tackle those. Lisa's out this week, so, and I got contractors in. That's my excuse.
And he's sticking with it. It makes for a busy week, that's for sure. All right, have any suggestions for next month's meeting or whatever? Turn around and let myself or Adam know, we'll go from there, and,
We will have, we're gonna bring back those stones,
mhm.
so that'll have to be on there,
Just Horner Park again.
the Horner Park again, yeah.
And now that we've kind of got this layout and the cap plan that we're working on as well, and they're just, you know, where does this group want to be as we move forward as well? And I think I talked to you about this as well,
Yeah.
how we maybe just starting to look at some kind of strategic plan that we have for the Park and Rec Committee alone is the things we'd like to see moving forward and kind
Sit
of
down, just, our committee is what we would consider a 5-year plan
you know,
for the park.
what would be,
I can bring that, what we have,
yeah.
it's probably good to
Yeah, I think
review
you've got
that.
a projects plan or however you
Yep.
got that to go, so, but just a review or, you know, if there's anything that we want to focus on as a group,
Mhm.
you know, where we need to be.
Yeah, cause our ideas may not be the same as
Right,
Mike,
you know.
Mike sees out there.
It's important, I think, that we do have that discussion sooner than later.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
There's funding for the American Rescue Plan that's coming. that-
That's
that
where I was
very
thinking
well
of that,
could-
so, yeah.
Why don't we put that down for next month?
And the more we can shore that up and have that, it's
Mhm.
easier to maybe acquire some things, so.
I was gonna say May 26th to be the next meeting.
26th,
At 5 o'clock. And then we'll start looking at June, or, we won't be meeting June, but July, meeting in one of the parks, like we traditionally do during the summer months and that, so. We'll go from there, so. Anything else from anybody, otherwise we'll obtain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we are adjourned at 6 o'clock.